Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our shows tonight, hundreds gathering today to celebrate the life and recognize the service of Sarasota County Fire Chief Bill Koser. Koser served the Suncoast for over 25 years before his death last week from a motorcycle accident in South Georgia. ABC 7's Sammy Chido shows us what those closest to Koser had to say about him today.
Initially, the family wanted a small gathering.
Small was not an option Sunday as hundreds gathered to remember and celebrate the life of Sarasota County Battalion Chief William Koser.
One thing we could all learn from him is brotherhood. He knew the true definition of brotherhood, and he lived it every day.
Many spoke about Koser, sharing memories, laughs, and even some tears.
Billy would demand that you do your best. To my brothers and sisters out there, he would demand that you push each other, because that's what he did. We can only hope to be half the firefighter that Billy Koser was.
Sitting alongside Koser's family and colleagues were his fellow members of the Biker Association Widow's Sons. The president of the Knights and Eagles Division, David York, knew Koser for almost a decade.
Just one of the best guys that you would ever want to know. I mean, they keep saying how he would just give you the shirt off his back, and if you were down and out, he would literally do that. The community has lost a great man.
We have to remember the good things. We have to remember the smiles that he gave us also. So that's kind of what we tried to do here.
The tribute was filled with fire service tradition, and one of those traditions, radioing the last call, or what's also known as the 5 5s.
Roll call has been taken, and Battalion Chief Bill Koser has failed to answer.
Chief Koser was supposed to retire in March. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Sammy Chido, your Suncoast News.
Continues to be a sad situation for the Koser family and emergency responders. Sammy Chido, thank you very much. Well, in other news, recently released figures showing Hurricane Irma made a big impact on Suncoast real estate sales. According to the Realtor Association of Sarasota and Manatee, there was a decrease in closed sales, pending sales, and new listings during the month of September. New listings in Sarasota County were down 36% and closed sales dropped by 16% compared to this time last year. Real estate experts say even though the market is seeing decreased numbers, it's more like a delay, not a permanent problem.
At the end of the day, the big thing to remember is you are going to be seeing a rebound effect, and we're going to see that in the month of October, November, and December.
And some aspects of the real estate market continue to be strong. The median price of local homes has increased more than 8% compared to last year. Inventory is slightly down from August, but it does show a slight improvement from this time last year as well. Well, Florida officials say they have distributed more than $1 billion worth of food assistance following Hurricane Irma. Thousands of people statewide have swamped those sites, including those right here on the Suncoast, where officials were accepting applications for that program. It gives out vouchers to use in grocery stores, and some Democratic politicians, including U.S. Senator Bill Nelson, have criticized how that aid has been distributed because of these long lines. As of late last week, the state's Department of Children and Families said it had processed nearly 700,000 applications from people who applied for help. The state has wrapped up issuing benefits in several counties, but this weekend it opened up operations in Central Florida. Well, federal wildlife officials are relieved to report Hurricane Irma did not wipe out a herd of tiny endangered deer found only in the Florida Keys. According to a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service survey released last week, almost 950 key deer survived the storm, which made landfall September 10th near the National Key Deer Refuge, the only place where the 30-inch tall deer can be found. The storm is responsible, however, for killing 21 key deer, and another 12 have died in vehicle collisions since the storm. The herd faced potential extinction last year during a screwworm infestation. Officials say the deer seen in the refuge since the hurricane appear to be healthy and active. Well, back here on the Suncoast, Steve Newman. There he is.
How you doing? Before the front, the clouds are streaming over us, and it's going to be quite a significant cool front or cold front that'll come over us in the next couple of days. Right now, there's plenty of moisture out in the Gulf of Mexico streaming in from the tropics from a southeasterly wind flow. Not a lot of rain in the state of Florida itself. It's still out in the Gulf. We've had hit and miss showers down around the Everglades, but for us in the Sun Coast, it has been dry, although there have been a lot of clouds around. High temperatures across the state, upper 80s to low 90s this afternoon. And look at the viewing area. Everybody was 90 degrees except for Parrish, Punta Gorda with 91 and Wauchula with 89. Now here's our future radar from the Rapid Refresh High Resolution model. It's not perfect, but it does an amazing job at predicting the next 12 to 18 hours. They run this model every hour, and it's showing that overnight the chance of rain increases. During the day tomorrow, you see 1, 2, 3. The rain chance increases even more, and temperatures overnight are going to be very mild, and it's going to be humid, bottoming out about 75. I'll tell you all about the changes coming around this week. You're going to feel this front. I'll tell you about it in a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Steve. A Tampa neighborhood is in fear tonight. Someone is shooting people, apparently for no reason. 2 men and 1 woman have died while walking in the streets at night. Police are looking for that killer while neighbors hold a vigil for the latest victim. ABC's Richard Cantu has more from Tampa.
They walk through a dark neighborhood in spite of the danger.
Community.
Residents, neighbors, and relatives of victims marching through the Seminole Heights section of Tampa, where 3 different people with no connection were gunned down, all within 2 weeks and 10 blocks of each other.
I mean, this is devastating, and it's sad.
Police escorting marchers to the place where 20-year-old Anthony Naiboa was shot last Thursday after he got off on the wrong bus stop.
It was right here. Yes, they killed him just for nothing, just for fun, like he was nothing.
They mourned and they prayed.
On earth as it is in heaven.
The first shots rang out October 9th, claiming the life of 22-year-old Benjamin Mitchell. 4 days later, 32-year-old Monica Hoffa's body was found down the street.
I feel like there's no excuse for this. No one should have to go through this.
Police are still searching for the killer and a motive. Right now, the only lead, this grainy video of a person wearing a hood walking along a neighborhood street. Police not even calling him a suspect, but someone they'd like to speak with.
We're in this for the long haul. We're going to find this person.
And warning residents to not walk alone when they leave their homes. Police expected to address community fears at a meeting Monday night. Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
Well, still to come here on ABC 7, Fox News under fire for another sexual harassment scandal. We'll tell you more about that. And the feud continues between President Trump and a Florida congresswoman over the deaths of U.S. soldiers. Stick around.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Did you know that Sarasota County was the first in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community? Whether you're 22 or 82, we strive to be the best place to live, work, and play. A community rich with opportunities and things to do for people of all ages. On Saturday, October 28th, we're advancing this movement with a free community event featuring live entertainment and hands-on experiences. You won't want to miss our entire community coming together for an age-friendly festival presented by the Patterson Foundation.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back. Fox News now has another sexual harassment scandal on its hands. This one coming after a report by the New York Times claiming Fox News renewed Bill O'Reilly's contract despite knowing he had settled with a Fox News legal analyst who said he sexually harassed her. Diane Gallagher has more on that story.
$32 million. That's the amount the New York Times reports Bill O'Reilly paid to longtime Fox News legal analyst Lise Wheel. According to the Times, Wheel threatened to sue O'Reilly for alleged sexual misconduct. A month later, Fox News renewed O'Reilly's contract for $25 million a year. The contract included protections allowing Fox to dismiss him in the event of new allegations, protections the company used just 2 months later, after the Times revealed the existence of other settlements with women who had accused O'Reilly of sexual harassment or verbal abuse. Now, here's what O'Reilly told NBC News about the sexual allegations against him just last month.
My conscience is clear. What I have done is organized a legal team to get the truth to the American people. I can go to sleep at night very well, knowing that I never mistreated anyone on my watch in 42 years.
The $32 million payout to Wheel is far higher than any of the previously known settlements. The New York Times expose comes at a time when O'Reilly is actively seeking a new TV commentary job, meaning he could be challenging Fox. His camp believes the leaks about the Wheel settlement might be coming from Fox to hurt him. An O'Reilly spokesman writes, "The Times printed leaked information provided by anonymous sources that is out of context, false, defamatory, and obviously designed to embarrass Bill O'Reilly and to keep him from competing in the marketplace."
In other news, a Florida congresswoman is asking White House Chief of Staff John Kelly to apologize for making false claims about her while defending President Donald Trump's handling of condolences to a military family. Democratic Representative Frederica Wilson called Kelly a, quote, puppet of the president today. Wilson accused him of character assassination, escalating a political fight over Trump's call to the widow of a service member killed in Niger. Trump jabbed back, describing Wilson on Twitter as, quote, the gift that keeps on giving for the Republican Party. That fight began Tuesday when Trump told the widow that her husband knew what he signed up for. Wilson was riding with the family and heard that call on speakerphone. Well, some wildfire evacuees in California are taking their first look this weekend at what's left of their homes, but they're also making sure to say thank you to the firefighters who fought to save those houses. Cornell Barnard reports from Santa Rosa.
Firefighters came for pancakes. What each of them got was a standing ovation.
How could you not be grateful for somebody who's worked so hard for you?
First responders were guest of honor at this pancake breakfast hosted by Boy Scout Troop 32 in Santa Rosa. Donations were collected for fire victims. This day gave thanks to those who battled the firestorm.
It really chokes me up to see this level of support for all our departments. Just driving down the highway, seeing every overpass is just covered with signs. It's really touching.
Homeowners are returning to their Fountain Grove neighborhood for the first time.
We raised our 2 kids here.
Alan and Noriko Williams can't believe the place they called home is now rubble.
It was unbelievable. Even just driving up the parkway and seeing everybody's home. You know, all these homes that had been here, we've lived here for 18 years.
Some keepsake Christmas decorations and a garden statue are all that's been salvaged so far. More than 30 homes on this street reduced to ashes. Some neighbors still finding signs of life on their property, like this fish pond. Somehow, these miniature koi survived the fire. Neighbor Laureen Worley found this silver serving fork, a wedding gift.
We just wanted a couple little nuggets, and this is one of those. This might even just be enough right here.
Residents must show ID to return to their properties. The Williams vow to return one day.
We're going to rebuild here and stay because this is our home.
They say that could take years. In Santa Rosa, Cornell Bernard, ABC 7 News.
Tough to keep seeing that damage out there in California, especially tough for you, Steve Newman, former resident of
I
Santa
lived there
Rosa.
for 25 years, and I'll be there in 2 weeks. A friend of mine died right in the middle of the fires, not from the fires, but from cancer. So I guess I'll be seeing all that, and I really feel for my former neighbors out there. Well, we're going to feel here a big change in the weather in the next few days. A front is approaching us, and boys are going to stir up rain, wind, and cooler weather. Here's what it looked like today. The last of the real sunny and balmy days over the Suncoast. And you can see the surf was up there at the Casey Key webcam, looking out over the Gulf with some passing showers offshore, but it stayed mainly dry on land for the most part. Currently 79 degrees, dew point 73, humidity 82%. And our high today was very brief. You like just for maybe 4 or 5 minutes it hit 90, but the rest of the midday, late morning, early afternoon was around 88, 89 degrees. The average today 84, so you can see much warmer than normal. We will be briefly, like 2 days, cooler than normal and be back up our typical pattern of always being above normal. Well, we do have some showers out in the Gulf of Mexico, and you can see some high clouds streaming over us. That's why it looks so cloudy aloft. It's not because of any rain clouds up there, but they are going to thicken, and the chance of rain will increase overnight as the cold front approaches from the northwest. Let's take a quick look at radar, and there are the storms out on the edge of the radar range, just barely able to see them, but it looks like they're trying to move toward the coast, and as we looked at earlier on the rapid refresh model showing them increasing in chance of having moving over us by a late morning, early afternoon. But look over land right now. It is all clear, no showers right now. Let's take a quick look at the tropics, and the Atlantic remains quiet, no problems there, and the Caribbean right now, no problems. But for several days, the models from all around the world have been trying to spin up something here in about a week's time, next weekend. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will monitor that very closely over the next several days, as will Wendy next weekend and John Scalzi in the morning. But right now, nothing to worry about. It's just something to keep a heads up on. The Gulf of Mexico fair, except for those clouds and showers we saw out in the middle of it. Well, the key to our weather is this big dip in the jet stream, allowing cool air to come directly from the Arctic right into America's heartland. And as this pivots over us, that direct connection to the Arctic air will pass briefly over Florida, giving us about 2 days of below normal temperatures. But right now, it's a fairly garden variety temperatures, very typical for this time of year, except in the northern plains in the middle of that dip of the jet stream, it's cooler than normal. Now, in pictures and moving pictures, we can watch our futurecast as the approaching cold front comes in from the northwest. And by this time tomorrow night, it'll be just to the northwest of us, passing by in the early morning hours on Tuesday, and then the front breaks up. But the cold air isn't here yet. It's going to come from this reinforcing cold front, as we can look at from the European model, and the long-range forecast comes through quickly on Wednesday, and by Wednesday evening, the cool air will settle in. It'll only last for 2 days, and then we have another front next weekend that could bring us additional rain on Saturday and Sunday. Let's take a look at that cold air coming down at us. By Wednesday morning, it really won't have settled in. It'll still be in the mid and low 60s, but then when the cold air settles in, upper 50s to mid 50s along the Sun Coast for Thursday. So here's your 7-day outlook reflecting that, which you've just seen. Increasing chance of rain tonight and tomorrow up to 70%. Pretty good chance in the morning on Tuesday, but it tapers off to 50% by midday, and then by Wednesday morning, 0 chance of rain as the cooler, drier weather sets in. Look, upper 50s for lows, 70s for highs. Look at that, 70 for a high temperature on Wednesday. We haven't seen that since last spring. Adam?
Thank you, Steve. Coming up, a Super Bowl rematch between the Patriots and Falcons. That's next in sports.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Attention blood thinner users. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Medicare's annual election period has begun. If you already have Medicare, new benefits may now be available with no copays, no deductibles, or $0 premiums. Call now to speak to a licensed insurance agent who can help guide you step by step through a free analysis of the benefits available to you. And you may be eligible for plans that even include additional coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. MedicareAdvantage.com searches thousands of insurance plans from leading insurance companies. We'll help you find plans that may cost you less, cover more benefits, and give you more choices, like home delivery of your prescriptions, gym memberships, and even over-the-counter allowances for everyday needs, like antacid, allergy medicine, vitamins, and even toothpaste. Don't miss the deadline to enroll. It's time to get more out of Medicare.
Call 800-314-8605. That's 800-314-8605. 800-314-8605. Call now.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Now, sports.
The Buccaneers are starting to slip below expectations entering this Sunday with 2 straight losses. With 3 minutes in a tie ball game with the Buffalo Bills, Jameis Winston finds Mike Evans for a touchdown. Take another look. Evans able to secure the ball and drag that back foot as Tampa Bay takes a lead. But the Bills answer in less than a minute. LaShawn McCoy, 8-yard touchdown run, ties this game once again. It gives the Bucs more than 2 minutes to score. 1st and 10, Adam Humphries fumbles the football. Buffalo takes over on their own 32-yard line, nailed a 30-yard field goal, and it's another heartbreaker for Tampa Bay. Head coach Dirk Cutter after the game admits he's feeling the pressure.
My biggest concern is we're 2-4. I mean, that's my biggest concern. We're 2-4, and of course, when you're not playing up to expectations, you know, it's easy for your team to shatter from the inside out. And talk to the guys about that, but you know, talk is talk. We gotta live it. We gotta fix it ourselves.
The Bucs started last season 3-5 before narrowly missing the playoffs. Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler is expected to miss at least one start with a rib injury. That's according to the Associated Press. Cutler left Sunday's game against the Jets after taking that hit from linebacker Jordan Jenkins in the 3rd quarter. Matt Moore came in for Cutler and threw 2 touchdown passes to help rally the Dolphins to a 31-28 victory over the Jets. It's their 4th of the year, and Moore is expected to start for Miami on Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens. Well, Atlanta and New England facing off for the first time since the Patriots' historic comeback win in last year's Super Bowl. Matt Ryan converting a 4th and 7 with his legs right there. In the 1st quarter, it leads to a field goal attempt, but it is blocked by the Patriots' special teams. Scoreless in the 2nd, Brandon Cooks takes a jet sweep behind Rob Gronkowski and scores the 1st touchdown of the game. And then later on, during a 2nd and goal, right before the half, Tom Brady hitting James White for another score. The Patriots take a 17-0 lead into the locker room. Not quite as many fireworks this time. The Patriots currently up 23-7. And speaking of Super Bowl, Justin Timberlake will be headlining the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show next year. Timberlake and the NFL tweeting that announcement Sunday, promoting the show. Pepsi also declared the news official after weeks of speculation. The Super Bowl will take place on February 4th in Minneapolis. The Boston Red Sox have named their next manager. It's Houston Astros bench coach Alex Cora, who played on Boston's 2007 World Series team. Cora will finish the postseason with the Astros before starting his first ever run as a manager. He will replace John Farrell, who was fired earlier this month despite winning the 2013 World Series and winning back-to-back division titles in Boston. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-918-5654. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, we just showed you those Bucks-Bills highlights. Jameis Winston hitting Mike Evans for a touchdown. But what we didn't show you was Evans and the Bills defender, Tre'Davious White, running into a female photographer right there on the sidelines in the process. That photographer taking a big shot from 2 individuals. I don't know if you know this, the NFL has some larger guys playing in that sport. And she takes a square shot, but appears to be okay, gets up, takes it in stride, even though the players effectively ignored her afterwards. I guess occupational hazard, Steve, being that close to the sidelines there.
What a trooper.
Yeah, they shook it off fine, but I hope she did as well.
And the game must go on.
I guess so.
We have an approaching cold front. Let's take another look at that Futurecast overnight, the future radar, showing an increasing chance of rain after sunrise tomorrow, and by afternoon, probably about a 60–70% chance of showers and thunderstorms.
So a wet start to that work week.
Yeah, and Wendy's back next weekend. Until I'm here again, follow me at Steve Newman TV on Twitter and Facebook.
Well, there you have it,
Plug,
Steve.
plug.
We'll be waiting for your return. Good Morning Suncoast starts later on.